We came down here, only did about 6 laps during the test, and you know, we did good then, and unfortunately yesterday everything didn't carry over. We were a little bit off the pace yesterday. We were P11, but come this morning we're P2 and P1 for the pole on the Rolex, so that was great. You know, Project One Atlanta boys been working hard. And it's a stainless Daytona Rolex, which actually is one of the harder Daytonas to get. You can actually get a gold one and things like that, but to find a stainless one, they're usually harder to find. So it's a cool watch. It's always hard to call a 200 because the race is always different every year. I mean, sometimes we see races that go right to the end, and sometimes we see races that get broken up. But I mean, I'm sure up to that first pit stop, you're going to see a pack of 10 to 12 bikes probably, and there's going to be a lot of swapping positions and a lot of good racing. It'll look a lot like last year's did, where they're like 5 wide across the stripe, and it should be very entertaining. You get to those first round of pit stops, and that's usually when it starts thinning the field out, because the pit stops, a lot of time, it's easy for time to be lost in the pits. You know, your team's got to be able to do good, quick, consistent stops and without making mistakes, and that's what's gonna kind of play the race. And then, you know, who knows? Hopefully, in the end, it'll come down to at least 4 of us up here, or maybe some more. And you know, it'd be great to have a great, huge drafting battle coming up to the finish line. That'd be great to see for everybody. And you know, that's probably what we'll see. But on another note, I'd just like to check out and ride on way up by myself. That'd be fine too.
I'm sure you've heard about the disaster in Japan. Could I just get your reaction to what's happening over there right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge tragedy. You know, it's really hard to put into words, because there's it seems like it's always something. You know, whether it be earthquakes in Japan with tsunamis, you know, Haiti. I mean, you just keep going down the list. It seems like every day there's another tragedy going on somewhere in the world. But, you know, all we can do is pray for those that are affected by it, and wish the best for those people and those families. And you know, it's just really tough to see. I mean, we're out here riding motorcycles. We're just having fun. And there's people that deal with a lot more than that.
Good. Well said, Jake. Thank you. I think we're good. We'd like to get these guys to kind of stand together for a front row picture.
I got one last thing.
Yes, please.
I'd like to dedicate this pole to a good friend of mine. His name's Nathan Woods. He passed away. He's a 2-time WORCS champion, off-road champion, winningest rider in their series. Good friend, training partner, riding partner. Left behind a wife and 2 little kids. And this was for him.
Thanks, Jake. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this is my first pole for the 200, so first time get to take home a Rolex. I think it was in 05 or 06. Miguel snipped me by, I think it was 9 thousandths or no, 6 thousandths of a second, I think. So it was a very small margin, and he did it on the last lap, so I was kind of upset about that. So happy to get a Rolex and move on, but to be even happier to win the race. The bike is really, really good. You know, it's we're a full private effort. You know, it's just Perry and Rick working on the bikes, and we got a bunch of guys that are jumping in to help us out, you know, do our pit stops for the race. And you know, we've got some help from Troy Lee Designs, and you know, my personal guys, Alpine Stars, Shoei Helmets, and Z Gallery. And other than that, you know, it's pretty much what you see on the bike. There's not a lot there, so just going to take it to these boys and see if we can't win another 200. You know, the 200's a long race, and you know, everyone says that, but you've got to have a little bit of luck on your side, because your crew's got to nail your stops. They don't have to be the fastest stops, but they have to be consistent. You can easily lose the race in the pits. You might not necessarily win the race in the pits. So the crew's got to do their job, and you know, the rider's got to keep his head on straight for 57 laps and get around here for 200 miles. You know, you're gonna have a lot of lap traffic. It's gonna be a big old mess at the start of the race for about till the first pit stops, really. I'm guessing there'll be anywhere from 8 to 12 bikes up in the lead draft. mixing it up, maybe even more, I don't know. It'll be quite interesting. Should be good entertainment. But after the first pit stops, everybody kind of thins out, everything spreads out, and then the race is on to the finish. You want to give yourself the best shot you can, so by the time you're getting close to those first round of pit stops, you want to be towards the front. You know, you don't want to, and also you don't want to get yourself caught up in anything. If something happens and you get broke apart from the group, and then all of a sudden there's two groups, you really want to be up in that lead group if you can be, and you know, I'd rather be up front and setting the pace. And you know, there's a lot of guys that don't have the experience of riding the 200 that I do, so we'll see if we can't shake a couple of these boys off early.